My iPad is probably one of the most important things I own. It's where I take notes, plan my week, manage assignments, and honestly keep my life together. So today I thought I'd show you my productive iPad setup as a college student. The iPad I'm using is the 11-inch iPad Air M2 with 128 GB of storage, and I pair it with the Apple Pencil Pro, which I pretty much use every single day for note taking. I also have a matte screen protector on it. It's actually a knockoff version of the Paperlike from Amazon, and I honestly prefer it over glossy screen protectors. It cuts down on the glare and adds just enough friction to make writing feel a lot more like writing on real paper. For my case, I'm using this magnetic ESR case, also from Amazon, and it snaps right onto the iPad and even has a secure flap that keeps my Apple Pencil from falling out in my backpack. I'll have it linked down below if you want to check it out. Starting with my lock screen, I found this really clean, minimal wallpaper on Pinterest. I like keeping things simple while still making it functional. At the top, I have a weather widget, and then I have a calendar widget, a battery widget for my iPad, Apple Pencil, and AirPods, and finally my reminders widget so I can instantly check what I need to get done that day. Once you unlock my iPad, you'll see my main home screen. I keep this page for my most used apps that aren't school specific because I actually have a separate study focus for all of my education apps. In the dock is where I like to keep all of the apps I need the quickest access to, like Messages, Google Chrome, Safari, and of course, GoodNotes. GoodNotes is hands down my most used app on my iPad. It's where I take all of my lecture notes, organize my classes, annotate PDFs, and even plan out my week. Everything is organized into folders by semester and then subfolders for each class, which makes it super easy to find anything I need. If you're thinking about switching to digital note taking, I definitely recommend checking out GoodNotes. Back on my home screen, I have this calendar widget from Widgetsmith along with 3 aesthetic photo widgets. I just used some Pinterest images that match the vibe I was going for, and I think they make my iPad feel a lot more personal instead of looking plain. I have another battery widget. Since I commute to college, I'm always worried about one of my devices dying or forgetting to charge something, so this is a really helpful reminder. Right underneath is my reminders widget. Every morning I add everything I need to get done, and checking things off throughout the day just feels way more satisfying than it should be. As for the apps on this page, I have Photos, Calculator, Calendar, Notes, Music, Gmail, Canva, Pinterest, DaVinci Resolve, and YouTube. I use Calendar constantly for time blocking, planning assignments, and keeping track of deadlines. And if you're a student, I definitely recommend using some kind of calendar app because it makes staying organized so much easier. Canva is another app I use all the time. I make vision boards, YouTube thumbnails, presentations, and pretty much anything creative in there. Then there's Pinterest, which is where I get a lot of my inspiration from. Looking through Pinterest on an iPad just feels so much better than scrolling on your phone. I also downloaded DaVinci Resolve, and of course, I have YouTube on my home screen. Now let's switch over to my study focus. I love focus modes because they remove distractions and put everything I need for studying in one place. And whether I'm in class or studying at home, I don't have to waste time searching for apps and I have everything in one place. Here I have Canvas, Microsoft Word, Outlook, and Quizlet. This semester I'm really trying to focus on active recall, so I've been using flashcards a lot more than before. I also have Claude and ChatGPT, which honestly saved me during calculus last semester. Whenever I got stuck on a problem, I'd ask it to explain the steps instead of just giving me the answer, and it made understanding the concepts so much easier. Next, I have a folder with all of my Google apps like Drive, Docs, Slides, and Sheets, since I use those for group projects and assignments. Finally, I have the Zen Flip Clock. It's basically an aesthetic flip clock, but it also has a built-in Pomodoro timer that I use during study sessions. I especially love using it at night because it makes my desk setup feel a lot more cozy and somehow makes studying feel less intimidating. You can customize the focus and break durations to whatever works best for you. I also kept my reminders widget on this page because I always like having my to-do list visible. I'm constantly afraid I'll forget something that's due, so seeing it every time I unlock my iPad gives me some peace of mind. If I swipe over to the left, I have another calendar widget, a motivational quote that I found on Pinterest, and finally a ChatGPT widget. And that's pretty much everything I have on my iPad. I do have a few entertainment apps like Netflix and TikTok, but I purposely keep them hidden so I'm not tempted to open them while I'm trying to study. And if I ever need one, for example, like editing my TikTok videos, I can always just search for it instead. So that's my productive iPad setup as a college student. If you have any questions or any suggestions, let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.